Yeah, that's good. Oops. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. If I could have your attention, please. Ladies and gentlemen, if I could have your attention, please. Thank you. So, welcome to the new format of our award celebration, industry award celebration. As most of you know, traditionally we've had tables where people were stuck at a table for 2 or 3 hours, and we talked to a number of folks that frequent the award gala, and they did decide they wanted to try the reception format. And based on the feedback so far, I think we made a good decision. So the only thing we're going to ask for tonight is we have 3 awards, and during the awards, if we could please ask everyone to, thank you, perfect, excellent. Okay, first of all, I'd like to thank Casino Rama, Chippewas of Rama First Nation, and Great Blue Heron Charity Casino for sponsoring this evening's awards. Thank you. Would also like to thank and recognize the host of this year's summit, OLG. This evening, the support is going to Hotel Dieu Grace Healthcare. So we have a charity tonight, so we're looking forward to providing one up in check before the end of the evening. First Nations Gaming has grown to be a significant contributor to growth and development in First Nations communities. The First Nation Canadian Gaming Awards has been established to recognize the contributions of First Nation casinos to First Nations and their neighboring communities. The awards recognize the accomplishments and contributions of people working within the industry and the continued development improvements within their operations. The First Nations Canadian Gaming Leadership Award. This award is for a supervisor or manager that is recognized for their efforts and results by their casino within the last 12 months prior to the nomination deadline. It's my pleasure to call to the stage Chief Rodney Noganash to announce our first winner. Chief?
Good evening, everyone. I have the pleasure of introducing Dan Chilling, winner of the prestigious Canadian Gaming Award for First Nation Leadership. But before I bring him up, I'd just like to get a small video. So once we get there, we'll watch a bit of that, and then I'm going to say a few words. So thank you. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for that. Okay. On behalf of the Chippewas of Rama First Nation Council, staff, and our community, we would like to extend our heartfelt congratulations to Dan on receiving this well-deserved award. Dan has held the first position of First Nation Manager, Chief Administration Officer for the Chippewas of Rama since 1995. At about the same time, Rama was chosen as the site for a First Nation casino after a comprehensive site selection process and is a driving force today in Simcoe County. In his capacity, Dan has worked closely with our leadership, Casino Rama, and Ontario Lottery and Gaming to facilitate a successful partnership. This extends into the region as Dan networks with local municipal and business leaders to address areas of mutual concern. When balancing the extraordinary interests of all these entities, I am sure you can appreciate that Dan is a master juggler at this. I would like to take this moment to acknowledge Sandra Veenstein, Interim CEO and General Manager for St. Eugene Mission Resort in British Columbia, who nominated Dan for this award. Sandra could not be here this evening and asked that I share congratulations to Dan from everyone at St. Eugene's for his outstanding contribution over the years. Dan has served on the board of directors since 2004, when the resort was first opened. Is a former chair and currently serves as Secretary Treasurer. In 2004, Rama First Nation partnered with Samson Cree First Nation of Alberta and the Tanuha Nation of British Columbia in opening this resort, which offers gaming, golf, and accommodation in a spectacular mountain setting. This groundbreaking partnership continues today, and we are proud of the role that Dan and Rama First Nation has played in making this resort a destination in the region. I believe Dan was out there last week testing out the award-winning golf facility to make it sure it's a top-notch facility out there. So, Dan is always willing to go the extra mile. Dan is a recipient of an Eagle Feather. This is a rare honor in our community in acknowledgement of his service and commitment to the people of Rama First Nation. The eagle flies close to the Creator and is known for his wisdom and strength. Those who are honored with an Eagle Feather are likewise acknowledged as rare individuals. Dan is here tonight with his loving wife, Jacqueline. So thank you for coming tonight, Jacqueline, and supporting your husband. We all know how difficult it is to balance the demands of family life with our workplace challenges, but Dan has a loving family who have supported him in his commitments as he has supported them in theirs. It is community leaders like Dan who come forward to work with government officials across Canada, area governance and business leaders, our leadership staff and communities to ensure that local priorities are addressed alongside the needs of economic engines such as Casino-Rama and St. Eugene's. Dan's awards today reflects his passion for his community, his commitment to a long-term vision and ability to navigate through the challenges faced in planning these complex projects. So miigwech for that, Dan, and I know our community is proud of you for this award you're about to receive tonight. So can you please come up, Dan?
Thank you very much, Chief. Thank you very much to the Canadian Gaming Association for this award. I'd like to thank all the people that have helped me along the way. I think when I did an interview, I thanked, you're only as good as the people around you. And I look at my chief and council today, my past chief and council. I remember when I started back with the band in 1995, I remember saying to the chief, the first show was in Winnipeg, and I said, Chief, you have to go. We're the only First Nation commercial gaming facility in Canada. And she says, no, you're going to go. So I think that's how I got into gaming, was that she said it was time for me to go, and I attended many shows over the past few years, but since the inception of gaming in Canada. But I have missed the last 4 years. We've gotten busy with other projects, and we have lots of great people working for us. And when I talk about people, I look at my friend Mr. Morano, our CFO. I convinced him to come work for us in 1996, and if I have an MVP, he's my MVP. When we talked about we had an opportunity to buy into a property in BC, and it was an opportunity to look at something that was bankrupt and was in receivership. But I think when we went there, we saw a diamond in the rough, and you've seen the pictures and how beautiful and spectacular in the mountains. But I remember my first gig was walking into a room about the hotel maybe sat about 400 people, and there was 500 people there. And the first question they asked is, will you be picking up the debt of the previous owners? And of course I had to say no. But we're here, and we will be successful. I promise you that, and I think we've lived up to that. The property's back on its feet. The locals have an opportunity to buy us out and take back their rightful property. And, we've seen a lot with the Truth and Reconciliation report that was just released last week. This building was an old residential school, and the locals, when it closed in the early 90s, decided that the elders of that community said, let's go from a place of devastation to make this a place of celebration, and I think we've achieved that. But with that, we have to thank all the hardworking people of that resort, the great CEOs we've had over the past few years, Munir Nassif, Max Dressler, and now Sandra. But I really, really want to thank my wife. You saw a picture of my wife and our three boys and our local minister at the time. But my wife, when we were driving here tonight, she said, I went to that building in 1994, before Rama even opened, before we even had a casino. My wife worked for the economic development team, and she actually went knocking on doors and asked the local businesses, what has the casino meant to you? And she was part of our economic development team. But I have three boys, three healthy boys. Our last boy was born in 1995, and she decided that she wanted to stay home and leave work and raise our son, our last son. And with that, she's picked up all the pieces when we've had to go on the other side of the country. A lot of miles, a lot of air miles. But she's always been there for me, supporting me. And without her, I wouldn't be here today. So thank you once again. Thank you one and all.
Thank you so much for your attention during that award presentation. So we'll be back to you in about 15 minutes. Enjoy, talk, drink, and eat.